Paramahamsa Pre Radha Sajasto Satya Sri Sri Divine Grace Hyderabad Sharanarvan Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Anta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Foundation Divine Grace of Prabhupada Ki Namasarya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Samabhata Bhaktivinoda Ki Harinama Sankirtana Ki Srimad-Bhagavatam Ki All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Guru. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Dadati Swapadam Tikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jita Padakam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Nagunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadundam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakamitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kantana Musute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamanu Sute Pranamani Hare Kriya Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Jaivasa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Narayanam Namaskritya Ram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad-Bhagavatam, which is a great means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhavatira Bhavati Naisiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed and practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamhitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Yeshre Sayalokasya Dhanyan Swasanam This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Mukam karoti vacharam pangum nangayate girim yakripa namaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yakripa namaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. Today we are beginning a new chapter from the 11th canto of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, chapter 3, which is entitled Liberation from the Illusory Energy. A little introduction to the chapter. I'll just read one small section here. In answer to 4 questions spoken by Maharaj Nimi, this chapter describes the nature and activities of the illusory potency, Maya, the method of becoming free from Maya's insurmountable grip, the transcendental situation of the Supreme Lord Narayana, and the process of Karma Yoga by which one becomes free from all material activities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original cause of all causes, created the 5 material elements from which the material bodies of the conditioned souls are created so that the conditioned souls may cultivate either sense gratification or ultimate liberation. Appearing as a super soul, the Supreme Lord enters the material bodies of the created beings and activates the 11 senses of the conditioned souls. The conditioned soul misidentifies the created material body with its actual self and thus engages in various fruitive activities. Impelled by the reactions of his own activities, he repeatedly takes birth in various species of life and thus suffers greatly until the time of the cosmic annihilation. When the annihilation is imminent, the soul of the universal form withdraws the entire material creation within himself, and then he himself enters into the original cause of all causes. In this way, the Lord empowers his illusory potency, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, for the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the material universe. So, it's a long introduction. I'll go to the first verse. Text number 1. Sri Rajavasha. Parasya Vishnur Ishasya. Parasya Vishnur Ishasya. Mainam Apimohinam. Mainam Apimohinim. Mayam veditum ischamo.
Mayam veditum ichchamo.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
Shri Rajavacha.
Shri Rajavacha.
Parasya Vishnur Ishasya.
Parasya Vishnur Ishasya.
Ainam apimohinim.
Ainam apimohinim.
Ayam viditum ischamo.
Mayam veditum ichchamo.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
Shri Rajavacha.
Shri Rajavacha.
Parasya Vishnur Ishasya.
Parasya Vishnur Ishasya.
Ainam apimohinim.
Mayam apimohinim.
Mayam viditum ischamo.
Mayam veditum ichchamo.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
श्रीराजवाचा
श्रीराजवाचा
परस्य विष्णोरीशाय
परस्य विष्णुरेशाय
मयिनामभिमोहिनीम्
Mainam apimohinim.
मया वेदितुम् इच्छामो
Mayam veditum ischamo.
भागवन्तो ब्रुवन्तु नः
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
श्रीराजवाचा
Shri Rajavacha.
परस्य विष्णुरिशस्य
Parasya Vishnur Ishasya.
मयिनाम् अपि मोहिनीम्
Mainam apimohinim.
मायां वेदितुम् इच्छामो
Mayam veditum ischamo.
भगवन्तो ब्रुवन्तु नः
Bhagavanto brubhantu nah.
श्रीराजोवाच
श्रीराजवाच
परस्य विष्णुरीशस्य
परस्य विष्णोरीशस्य
मायिनामपि मोहिनीम्
मायिनम् अपि
मायां वेदितुमिच्छामो
मायां वेदितुमिच्छामो
भगवतो ब्रुवन्तु नः
भागवन्तो ब्रुवन्तु नः. Okay. Sri Raja Uvacha. The king said, Parasya, of the Supreme, Vishnu, Ishasya, the Lord, Mayinam, for the possessors of great mystic power, Api, even, Mohinim, which is bewildering, Mayam, the illusory potency, Veditum, to understand, Ischamaha, we desire, Bhagavantaha, my lords, Ruvantu, please tell this, Naha, to us. Translation purport. Okay, by the translators of the 11th canto, disciples of Bhavan. King Nini said, now we wish to learn about the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu, which bewilders even great mystics. My Lord, please speak to us about this subject. Can you repeat after me? King Nini said, now we wish to learn about the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu, which bewilders even great mystics. My lords, please speak to us about this subject. Report. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, in this chapter, various saintly sons of Rishabhadev will speak about the illusory energy, Maya, the means for crossing beyond it, the characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and prescribed duties for human beings. The 48th verse of the previous chapter stated, Vishnur Mayam Idam Pashyan, which means a devotee of Krishna should see the entire universe to be the illusory potency of the Lord. Therefore, King Nimi is now pursuing this subject matter by requesting more detailed information from the saintly Yogendras. According to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma and the human beings of the earth are all driven by their particular desires for material sense gratification. And thus, they direct their senses toward research for material knowledge. The subtle celestial senses of the demigods and the gross senses of human beings are all busy in ascertaining the measurements of material sense objects. To understand fully the actual nature of Maya, the illusory potency, which causes the conditioned souls to become averse to Krishna consciousness and surrender to bewildering material manifestations, King Nimi is inquiring from another of the 9 Yogendras, Sri Antariksha. Translation again, the King Nimi said, now I wish to learn about the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Sri Vishnu, which bewilders even great mystics. My lords, please speak to us about this subject. So, this is the beginning of this chapter on the subject matter of how to become freed from the illusory energy of the Lord. So throughout the Bhagavatam, so many discussions are there. Especially we see discussions of very great personalities like King Nimi, who are, that's one of the important activities, we could say responsibilities of kings. Whole Bhagavatam is relating so many stories of great kings, Raja Rishis. And we see here how they are eager to understand about transcendental subject matter. Very different from today. We don't see very often politicians who are having, they may sometimes, they will invite, whenever elections are around the corner, they will invite saintly persons to get their blessings. But actually, those especially in such high position of responsibility, Vedic kings, that's one of the special characteristics and features of such great personalities. Actually, they are great personalities because they take guidance from the saintly persons. The subject matter of both the material world, material energy, the illusory energy of the Lord, is a very profound subject matter, as well as the subject matter of the spiritual world is also very deep subject matter. And we see many examples of kings. Bharat, King Bharat is one of them, and there are others also who, uh, because of this proper upbringing, proper understanding of what is the goal and the purpose of life, they retire early, as early as possible. Not like present day politicians, especially in America, who are practically in their 80s are still running for office, which is not at all the Vedic. Actually, in the Light of the Bhagavad, who has read the Light of the Bhagavad? You know the Light of the Bhagavad? Very nice book written by Srila Prabhupada. I think 1962 or something. Before going to America, Prabhupada wrote this book, Light of the Bhagavad, and he's actually taking one section of the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam and making very important points. One of them being, and probably we should send a circular to all the politicians around the world, that one should retire from politics at the age of 50. Many people enter politics at the age of 50. One should retire from politics at the age of 50. And to actually, to give, well, for two reasons. One is to give opportunity for the younger, more energetic, of course, qualified. They need to be qualified. Younger generation to take up the responsibility, and also to enable those who have been in such positions to retire timely so that they can prepare themselves for getting out of this illusory world in which we are living. So like this, there are usually such qualified kings would have also, I think it mentions about King Rishabhadev. King Rishabhadev, a little difficult for us to understand, had 100 sons. Of course, Daksha had thousands. So 100 is very little compared to thousands of sons. So Prajapatis, we cannot understand so easily. Just like the Manus are also Prajapatis. And one of their responsibilities is to populate the universe. And here in the purport it mentions something interesting, how there's two types of senses, the subtle celestial senses of the demigods and the gross senses of human beings. So it means that even maybe especially so in the heavenly planets, the demigods in the heavenly planets, they're driven by subtle sense gratification. They're not pure devotees. So, matter of fact, Prabhupada explains how it's a disadvantage to be in the heavenly planets. There's, it's like it's a disadvantage to be in USA. There's too much opportunity for sense gratification. It's true. People from India often, I guess maybe from other countries, I won't pick on India, just any country, and anyone who goes to America generally will be falling into Maya, will be attracted because so much opportunities for sense gratification. America is known as the land of the free. The land of the free. Freedom. They're free to do anything, because everyone, they had the policy that freedom of speech, freedom of everything, yeah. But Shastra is telling us differently, that the more we allow our senses to be active for sense gratification, the more we become bound up by the illusory energy, and therefore we are forced to take birth again and again and again. And in this way, we are forever entangled. Uh, so we'll read one more verse here that is basically the continuation. So King Nini is speaking to um, is explaining the beginning of the purport. According to Sridhar Swami, various saintly sons of Rishabhadev are speaking. So that's why they're referred to as my dear lords. So text number 2, I'll just read the Sanskrit ones. Nanuk Nanutpriye Jasan Yusmad Vacho Hari Katam Ritam Samsara Tapa Nistapto Marjas Tat Tapa Vejasam. Translation purport. Although I am drinking the nectar of your statements about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, my thirst is not yet satiated. This is the characteristic of such subject matters. One never tires to hear because there's always something new to understand. It's unlimited. Such nectarine descriptions of the Lord and his devotees are the actual medicine for the conditioned souls like me, who are tormented by the threefold miseries of material existence. So the purport is as follows, again quoting from Sridhar Swami. According to Sridhar Swami, one may argue that since the symptoms of a pure devotee of the Lord have already been elaborately described, one can perfect his life by advancing to the platform mentioned in the previous verse, and there is no need for further questions. But Hadikatamritam, topics about the Lord and his devotees are so pleasing and beautiful that one cannot give up hearing them, even after spiritual liberation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this connection, has quoted the following verse. Atmaramaschamunayo niragrantha apyurukrame kurvantyahaitu kim bhaktim itham bhuta guno harihi. Translation. Those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service of Sri Krishna, whose qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of Godhead, is called Krishna because he has such transcendentally attractive features. This is quoted from the Bhagavatam 1:7-10. Material medicine is not desirable once a disease has been cured. But on the absolute platform, the means and the end are not different. So chanting and hearing the glories of Lord Krishna are both the means and the end of transcendental bliss. Yes, Prabhupada would make this point. It's not that after we reach the perfectional stage, we stop chanting. the chanting is both the medicine and also the end of transcendental bliss. So to continue the purport, King Mimi said to the sages, "You're all greatly saintly persons absorbed in love of Godhead. Therefore, although you will speak about Maya or illusion, the conclusion will undoubtedly be Krishna consciousness." So, yeah, we can deal with the material energy, we can speak about the material energy, but the end result, if one is a devotee, will be warning against the material energy and how to ultimately develop our Krishna consciousness. So there King Nimi is telling, please don't think that you have already explained everything to me. The intoxicating nature of your instructions has left me more eager than ever to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the last paragraph here, King Nimi was also a great devotee of the Lord. Otherwise, there would have been no question of his personally conversing with such exalted living entities as the 9 Yogendras. But as a humble Vaishnava, he considered himself an ordinary conditioned soul covered by material designations. Thus, he showed his eagerness to understand the actual nature of Maya in order to be safe from her future attempts to place him in the burning fire of material existence. Same kind of mentality, same kind of uh, what is it? Attitude when Yudhishthira Maharaj met with Narada Muni. That's nicely explained. The 9th and the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam, those 5 chapters that deal with Varnasrama Dharma. Narada Muni had come to his palace, and we all know that Yudhishthira Maharaj is such an exalted personality, but taking a very humble position. So this was the nature of such kings. Such kings were qualified because they were humble. Whenever they would approach or come in contact with a saintly person, like here, King Lili's he's in discussion with the 9 Yogendras, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was in discussion in contact with Narada Muni. They take on this humble position and naturally are eager to hear more instructions from such personalities. Yeah. So that is a special feature of those who are devotees of the Lord, is that the subject matter for discussion is actually unlimited. That means that even after we leave this material body, whenever the time is ripe for us to return to the spiritual world, there is an eternity of Krishna Katha waiting for us in the spiritual world. And that can begin here also by understanding. Here, this is interesting because the whole chapter is dealing with the material illusory energy. So it means, actually, in another place also, when Parikshit Maharaj, I think it's in the first canto of the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Shukadeva Goswami about something related to the Vedic cosmology. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada makes the following point. This Parikshit Maharaj has been cursed to die in 7 days. He knows he's going to die. Most of us don't know. He knows he's going to die in 7 days. Why is he bothering to ask about the cosmic manifestation? Yeah, that's so properly explained that actually the personality, like Parikshit Maharaj, uh, he's asking such a question because uh, he, because of his exalted position, he uh, he will relate, or he relates or sees or understands everything in relation to Krishna. So because we know how, so powerful and so uh, this illusory energy of the Lord, the material energy, which is made up of so many planets and so many details and information. For a devotee of the Lord to hear about how the Lord has created this whole universe and how the influence of Maya is keeping everyone under the tight grip of this illusory energy, um, is is an impetus for understanding how great is the Lord. Uh, that even the Lord is great in terms of his spiritual energy, spiritual potency, and everything that is going on in the spiritual world. He's also great in how he has created this material energy, and the majority of living entities. This will be definitely pointed out. Until and unless one is fortunate to come in contact with the devotees of the Lord, one is, isn't it? Whole material world is just running back and forth, completely covered by the illusory energy, with no way out actually, until and unless one is fortunate to come in contact with the devotees and with this transcendental knowledge. So it will continue like this in the verses to come. Um, so we read the second. Uh, so I'll just read those two again, and then we can uh, end the class this morning, unless there's a question. So we read text number 1, which is translated as follows. King Nimi said, speaking to the 9 Yugendras, now we wish to learn about the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu, which bewilders even great mystics. My lords, please speak to us about this subject. And text number 2. Although I'm drinking the nectar of your statements about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, my thirst is not yet satisfied. Such nectarine descriptions of the Lord and his devotees are the actual medicine for conditioned souls like me, who are tormented by the threefold miseries of material existence. So, any thoughts, comments, questions?
I would like to hear more about travel and Victorian experiences, creating and laying down the ages.
Yes. Yes, actually, uh, it was a uh, nice theme that actually, uh, wherever we went, the boardings were quite receptive, because mostly where I went, uh, projects related to the whole theme of Make Vrindavan villages. And some new places especially. I had not been to, where is it? Poland. I was just there for a very short time actually, just coming out of Ukraine. And those, I was mentioning that the other day, how those countries, you went did you go to, you came to the Czech Republic? No.
Yes.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there in Krishna Vidur.
Huh?
I was there with Krishna Vidur. Krishna Vidur farm.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
We were there.
Yeah. So those countries are actually very, um, in many ways, very close to the Vedic culture. In that those we call Far East, not Far East, they're Eastern. They're called Eastern European countries, and in general, not very long ago, even now actually, they are still very closely connected with land because farming, agriculture, uh, was the main means of livelihood. And also, the people in general, I saw this especially, uh, although I stopped for a very short time in Poland. By the, I don't know if you picked up on this, but it's not only because they're devotees. Of course, devotees by nature are more, uh, you could say, more cultured, but the whole, uh, in general, the whole Buddha mentality is very much um, conducive for taking up to Krishna consciousness. Yeah. Um, so devotees were naturally very happy to, especially in some of the places where they don't have that many guests coming. Um, we met our Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu. He has a new place actually. Um, so it was my first time visiting. He's calling it the Sri Surabhi Gokshetra. Sri Surabhi Gokshetra. It's they have many what they call horse ranch. They keep horses. And so the place he has now was there's still a big when you come in the entrance, the old sign of the people previously is still there, and there's a sign of a like a rancher. Um, he has very beautiful. He's got 25 deer cows, as you know.
Yes.
25. So he needs a bigger place. He's looking for a bigger place. And there are many enthusiasts. Practically every day there's some new people coming and discovering that, my God, there's, our cows are here in California because it's quite rare to see such cows in North America. We also have in Canada, the whole new Goshala was built actually. Now they have two Goshalas, one beside the other. And they also have very beautiful deer cows. Yeah. Um, So, yeah, devotees are those involved with these projects, especially, they are quite enthusiastic. Uh, but like here also, it's taking more time for those who are less involved in these projects to understand how they can be connected or involved. But in general, good response. Uh, I would say that more people are taking more interest. Anyways, many things happen during 3 months. It will come out slowly or gradually. Uh, we had a good number of books actually in Europe, but and all of them were distributed actually. Fortunately, when I went to the U.S., Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu had some books, so there were people taking books at the end of our different presentations, and yeah, um, where was it? I think it was maybe in the U.S. Because I had different home programs also. And I remember at the end of one home program, because I was basically touching on the same theme about make Vrindavan villages, and then one person comes to see me and he says, "Yeah, I'm very interested." He says, "I'm actually from Mathura." From Mathura. I said, "Wow." Big Vrindavan villages. It's like Mathura Vrindavan, the same. So I think many people, especially those from India, were reminiscing, thinking about, oh yeah. Some of them still have land, and some of them seriously thinking about doing something with that land. Mm. Okay, close for now. Jai Grantha Srimad-Bhagavatam, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Govindnesh Bhakti Raghav महाराज की जय।